So it's just a concrete angel. I gave it one coat of copper patina already, and then I filled in like a couple of gaps that I had. And then if you know anything about patina, you do your first coat, and then your second coat is where you're gonna come in. If I turn this a little bit, you might be able to see me a little bit. Your second coat is where you come in and activate the spray, and you actually get your patinaed look. I'm not gonna cover the whole thing and spray it. We are gonna do the moss part first with some Terra. I have some malachite and some, I always forget the name, pistachio. So that's your two greens. I got a green this and a little green. So we're gonna make the moss first. So I had this idea in my head that we were gonna make it look like maybe it was in the shade and it got mossy and then it was patinaed. And then of course maybe at the bottom it's a little more copper. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of malachite and we're gonna start with malachite. I'm gonna start towards the back real quick because like I said, I had done the back already so that we can go on to like what happens after. Just kind of stippling some of that bright green of the malachite, which is not really a very nice mossy color, but wait till I add some of that pistachio in. Just gonna get this bright green first, which is not the best mossy color, but it will be in a minute. Now we're gonna get some of our pistachio. And I'm gonna pretend that didn't just happen either. Live camera, guys. My brush doesn't want to stay together. Okay, we improvise. We improvise. We just use the tip of the brush. Now you come in with pistachio. Just roll with it. It's not even. Okay, we just come in with the pistachio and we kind of stipple that into the malachite, and it's going to tone it down. And when it dries, Terra dries a lot duller than the color looks. It actually makes a really fun mossy color. All right, so that's about as much moss, because I don't, in my head, the moss would be down back, which it is, which I will show you. It would be kind of here, and this would be shaded a little bit. Maybe there'd be some moss on his legs, but I also like the idea of the patina running down there. Patina paint, this is copper. You do stir these up really well. I stirred it up right before we went live because the metal in the patina paint does settle sometimes. So you really want to mix it up really good. I'm going to get an artist brush and we're going to, where I want the most patina, we're going to put another coat of copper. So we're going to come down his face. Definitely want his little face to be patinaed, but maybe not the whole thing. And we're going to definitely patina those wings in here. So we're just going to kind of, I'm not going to coat the whole thing because I want the spray to leave some of the copper. So we're going to get in there. We want to make sure we blob some in his little creases because I feel like patina would definitely, like that oxidation would definitely happen in his little creases between his hands and his arms and his leg, right? So all right, so we got some in that wing, we got some back in there, in all the creases, on his foot. Important, important, important about patina paint. Close this jar before you spray. Because if it activates the spray and oxidated it, guess what it does to your paint? It oxidates your paint. Now, this is the new yellow. So you gently shake it up. I'm not going to be using this bottle. I never do. I don't like the big fat spray. We're going to be using the green also. We are going to be using them in little bottles that you can either order on Amazon or sometimes you'll find like a 2-pack in the dollar store. So we are going to give, let's move this. And it gives a fine mist. So we're going to try to be careful and not get this all over the place. That's always the challenge of spraying in the house. But see how it just gives you a fine mist? We're just giving it just a tiny mist of just a little bit of that yellow, right? Anywhere it's wet. All right, that's enough yellow. If it gets blobby, we can always take a paper towel, and you can see how there's like a big drop there. I might not want that much there. I can take a paper towel and just smooth that out a little bit. I don't really like the drips with patina, so if it's dripping, I'll probably come back in and grab the drips off of him and just dab it. You're almost like stippling the patina a tiny bit if you don't want it in places. Now we're taking green and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna spray in those areas that we wet. We're gonna let them drip a little bit. And now we let him sit. I'm gonna gently turn him around. What I mean by Terra dries a different color. See how much duller it dries? And now this has flat clear coat. I did this late yesterday. I let it dry overnight. I let the patina come into here, right, in his feet. And then it kind of like gives you that look. So it's got patina down here. It's got some copper in here still. It's not very shiny, but we're gonna add a little bit more to it to make it shiny. I lost a lot of the copper in the top and the wings, but it's okay because we're gonna add some back in. So I'm actually gonna use copper gilding wax. No need to get another product. You could use more copper patina paint, but I kind of like the sparkle, if I can use my words, that putting a little bit of the copper patina paint back in gives. So I'm gonna draw you guys closer for a minute, okay? So you can see this. Now I'm just touching points here and there that maybe some of that copper was just sticking through just a tiny bit. So we're just hitting those wings because it really makes the wings pop. And we're gonna hit his hair lightly, just to give back just a little bit of that patina. The gilding wax gives you can see compared to copper here, or like in here, and copper gilding wax, the gilding wax is much brighter and more vibrant. So I think it's perfect just for adding like a little bit of shine to just here and there, and just little points on his head, just so you're not losing that overall copper look. Then the last thing I do with copper, and I always do this with copper, especially on statues, I'm gonna draw you guys back out again because I need you to be a little bit lower, is I get some black wax, gilding or regular, doesn't matter, they're about the same. And I just get into those little creases, like around the wings, just to age it just a tiny bit more. The patina is beautiful alone. I just love that little bit of extra aging that the wax gives. And then you can just run a little tiny bit in between the feathers, just here and there. It just gives this like a little bit, I know you're probably not even seeing it, but it gives this little extra definition. It gives this little bit of darkness.
So here he is all done, and before I clear coat it, so now I'll take Dixie Belle's gator hide, which is a great protectant for outdoor things, and give it 3 coats of gator hide just for longevity outdoors. And I think he came out adorable. So make sure you subscribe to my channel for future videos, and thanks for joining.